General, I'm looking at this letter from one of your U.S. attorneys from October this year, where he wrote to the Montana Attorney General, all the county attorneys, and all the sheriffs in his jurisdiction, suggesting ways that parents could be prosecuted at school board for appearing at school board meetings in accordance with your directive. And one of the suggestions made by your U.S. attorney is parents can be prosecuted for repeated telephone calls, not threatening anyone, just on the theory that repeated telephone calls could be harassment. Really?
Senator, I haven't seen that memorandum. I've tried to express as clearly as I can here.
I heard you, General, but this is one of your U.S. attorneys.
Again, I haven't seen...
Isn't that special?
Good morning, folks. Today we dive into one of the most heated moments from Capitol Hill. Senator John Kennedy grilled Attorney General Merrick Garland in a Judiciary Committee hearing, a true masterclass in political accountability. The topic? FBI involvement in school board meetings, and parents allegedly labeled as domestic threats. Is the Department of Justice being used as a political tool? Let's break it down. You'll want to see this.
General, you're just a vessel. Well, let me tell you what I'm talking about. With respect to the National School Boards Association letter, you're just a vessel, aren't you?
I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I signed this memorandum. I worked on this memorandum, and this memorandum is my memorandum.
Well, let me tell you what I mean. We know that the National School Board Association was upset because parents were coming to school board meetings to object to the teaching of critical race theory. We know that in drafting the letter, the National School Board Association collaborated with the White House for several weeks. They worked on it together. And we know that the National School Board Association, once the White House and the association were happy with the letter, the National School Board Association sent the letter to the White House, and the White House promptly called you and said, sic the FBI on parents at school board hearings. And that's what I mean. The White House is the prophet here. You're just the vessel. Isn't that correct?
Senator, I did not speak with anyone from the White House while I worked on this memorandum. This memorandum reflects my views that we need to protect public officials from violence and threats of violence, while at the same time protecting parents' ability to object to policies.
Right. I get that. I've heard your testimony.
It all starts with a letter. A U.S. attorney's letter to Montana officials cites ways parents could be prosecuted just for making persistent, not threatening calls to school officials. Kennedy calls it what it is: intimidation. Garland claims he hasn't seen the memo. Kennedy's sarcasm says it all. Then comes the bombshell. Kennedy accuses Garland of being just a vessel, carrying out orders while the White House pulls the strings. The School Boards Association worked with the White House, then the DOJ issued a memo empowering the FBI to monitor parents. The White House is the prophet. You're just the vessel, Kennedy says. If government overreach outrages you, smash that subscribe button now. We break stories like this every week, unfiltered and always asking the hard questions. If you believe parents should speak up without being treated like criminals, this channel is for you. Hit that bell, we're just getting started. Kennedy presses Garland. Did you investigate any incidents before unleashing the FBI?
Now, when you got the letter from the White House that prompted your memorandum to give the FBI new duties in making sure our parents aren't dangerous domestic terrorists, you didn't investigate, before you issued your memorandum, the incidences cited in the letter, did you?
Look, I took a statement by the National Association, which represents thousands of school board members, when they said that they were facing violence and threats of violence, and when I saw in the news media reports.
Yeah, but you didn't investigate the incidents in the letter, did you?
No, this is the first step. This is an assessment step. It comes before investigations. The purpose
right. Before you issued your memo, you didn't investigate the incidents.
The memo is intended to begin assessments. It is intended to
and in fact, most of the incidents in the letter did not involve threats of violence, did they?
I think that's correct. Most of them did not, and they would not be covered by either federal or state law. I agree with that, and they would be protected by the First Amendment.
Kennedy's final hammer drops. You don't think this had a chilling effect on parental involvement?
Listing incidents that you didn't investigate,
My
that anybody who has any fair-minded knowledge of the world knows is going to have a chilling effect on parental involvement with respect to what their kids are learning at school.
just want to be clear again, Senator. My memorandum did not list any of those incidents.
This isn't just about politics, it's about parental rights, free speech, and government overreach. Kennedy exposed just how deep the DOJ and White House coordination goes. If you want more accountability and less political theater, like, comment, and share. Remember, if you don't speak up, someone else will. Stay loud, stay smart, stay free.